Hello everyone, we are getting into the second Pretty Cure analysis, this one on Futari Pretty Cure Splash Star. Make sure you have seen the previous analysis on Futari and Max Heart so you can understand the full experience of this video. Okay, if you're back now, let's begin. All of the information of Splash Star comes from the Pretty Cure wiki fandom. Futari Pretty Cure Splash Star, or in English, We Are Pretty Cure Splash Star, is the first new edition of Pretty Cure after the original Futari Pretty Cure and the sequel Max Heart. It was directed by Toshisaki Kimura and premiered on TV Ashi February 5, 2006. The story revolves around Saki Haguga and Mai Mishino, who were chosen by the spirits of the flowers and birds to become the legendary warriors Pretty Cure for the battle against evil organization Dark Fall. The Cure's signature motif is the Japanese idyllum for flower, bird, wind, and moon, and the beauty of nature is the main theme of the third season of Pretty Cure. Splash Star was directed by Toshisaki Kimura, who is in Pretty Cure, worked it on for a long time and is still working in Pretty Cure, recent with Pretty Cure 2021, Tropical Rouge Pretty Cure. He worked it on episodes 13, 15, and 18 of this season. He also worked it on Futari Max Heart, Yes 5, Go Go, Fresh, Heart Catch, and Healing Good. Outside of Pretty Cure, you may know him for directing Tiger Mask W, or from one of my favorite Japanese versions of Marvel, being Marvel Disc Wars. The series composition was done by two people. The first was Senko Nagatsu for episodes 1 to 13 of Splash Star, and then Yoshinimi Narita, who worked it from episode 14 all the way to the end of the series of Splash Star in episode 49. Akira Inagami is character designer once again, along doing the music by Naoki Sato. The studio, of course, was done by Toei Animation. Next word Splash Star had aired on was Animax TV Ashi and Ashi Broadcasting Corporation in Japan. Right 2 in Italy, Bang Bang in Albania, MCOT in Thailand. I have a friend that lives in Thailand, so I'm wondering if maybe she might have seen some of the Pretty Cure episodes that aired there. Oh well, then let's get back to Splash Star right now. Splash Star made its run from February 5th, 2006, and it ended on January 28th, 2007. They had a total of 49 episodes. The opening theme of Splash Star, which is one of my favorite Pretty Cure songs in the opening, that is with the Go-Go opening, is Leave It To Us Splash Star by Yuka Uchiai, and the ending are done by Gojo Mayumi. The first song being a favorite ending in Pretty Cure. I think I should make a YouTube video on my favorite openings and endings if you already want to see that. I know a lot of old fans have it, but I might do mine's own. But off topic, the first ending was Go by Smiling is Victory, and the second ending was Balance the Dance. The story begins 5 years prior to the start of the series. Young Saki Haguga and Mai Mishino meet each other under the sky tree at both age 9 years old. After following two glowing lights flying towards the tree, 5 years later, they meet at the same place again and become the legendary warriors Pretty Cure. Saki is the star of the softball team, and Mai is an aspiring artist. When they meet each other by a coincidence before the sky tree, two lights fall down, revealing two small creatures named Floppy and Choppy. They explain to the girls about their duty as Pretty Cure, but on the same day, they get attacked by a strange humanoid creature with his fearsome monster. The girls transform into Cure Bloom and Cure Egret, defeat the monster, and acquire something later revealed to be the Miracle Drops. After some thought, the two girls decide to become friends and help Floppy and Choppy save their world named the Land of Fountains. Cure Bloom and Cure Egret can fight physically, set up energy shields, and fly freely using spiritual powers. and they are protected by a passive force field. Spiritual powers take their form of visible light, so the cures are auras and battlers. Their group attack is the Twin Stream Splash. Kara Bloom bears the flower symbol from Floppy in the back of her gloves, and Carrie Greb bears the bird symbol from Choppy in the same manner. These symbols are always used for launching a group attack and retire when they attain their second form. Over time, they have defeated Karihan, Moriwamba, and Doradorn before confronting two of their best friends, Michu Kiryu and Karu Kiryu. Darkfall Magical Girl duo, who gone to the Land of Greenery in order to spy on the Pretty Cure. The four eventually became good friends after spending much peaceful days together, and the confrontation with the Cures have refused to fight back. Michu and Karu sacrificed themselves to rescue Saki and Mai from their fearsome leader, Akadai Draken, and disappear from the Land of Greenery until they were revived by the power of the fairy craft. After Pretty Cure has restored the Fountain of Sky, two mysterious spirits from the fountain appear, named Moop and Foop, who can collect the power of the moon and the power of wind. A powerful and treacherous villain, Miss Shitatair, appears to be too powerful for Cure Bloom and Cure Egret to handle without an upgrade. Moop and Foop surprisingly their powers to the Splash Commune, which provides the Spiral Wing set to the Cures, allowing them to use the more powerful Spiral Heart Splash attack. Later, Floppy and Choppy are captured and injured by Gorian and subsequently healed by the power of Moop and Foop, resulting in an upgrade in their item from their mixed commune to the crystal commune, and their ability to use the moon and wind powers collected by Moop and Foop, resulting in a new form for Pretty Cure called Cure Bright and Cure Windy. Cure Bright and Cure Windy can access all of Cure Bloom and Cure Egret's fighting capabilities, plus the ability to use power of the light and the power of wind. Their group attack is the Spiral Star Splash, which requires the use of the Spiral Ring set, which is also supplied by the same pair of spirits as their Cure transformation. Floppy and Choppy still retain their ability to collect spiritual power from the earth and the sky after this upgrade, so the girls can freely choose and switch between their two forms. They are shown to use both forms in the second half of the show, and they have defeated King Kaleski using their second form. After Pretty Cure has restored all 6 fountains of the Land of Fountains, Queen Phila, or Princess Phila, collects powers from the 6 fountains in the Fairy Charfait and intends to use them for the Fountains of Sun. But Gorian steals the Charfait and uses such power to revive the 5 defeated Darkfall minions, and the remaining power is used to revive Michu and Karu, who have betrayed the Darkfall Revive and stolen the Fairy Charfait, and subsequently fight Arcanite Draken and Gorion. After Draken gets defeated by the 4 girls, Gorion kills him and reveals that he is the one who has created Arcanite Draken, and intends to destroy the universe and take all the lives with it. Gorion reveals his original form and his fiery battle against the girls, during which the Land of Greenery is turned into a ruined world, and all 4 girls have run out of power and near death. Saki and Mai are de-transformed, but they eventually manage to summon remaining spirits from the Land of Greenery to finish the battle, with the Cures using Floppy and Choppy's flower and bird powers, and Michiru and Karu carrying a precision of Whoop and Flute powers. The remaining positions is the Cure's Spiral Rings. The 4 are able to use all 4 powers together and defeat Gorion with ultimate attack, the Spiral Heart Splash Star. The Land of Greenery and the Land of Fountains are restored. The 4 girls live together in the Land of Greenery, and the 4 spirits return to the Land of Fountains. The story ends with the 4 girls heading forward to their future, and Saki and Mai holding hands for one last time. Now, I have a different series which runs with this series. The series I'm talking about is Character Information in Pretty Cure Edition, which goes into more detail on each character of Pretty Cure, including the villains and allies. So I won't go into full detail, but you can see all the Pretty Cure Splash Star characters in detail, and I'll make a playlist for those videos on Splash Star very soon. Maybe it's already done by this time when this analysis comes out. I am currently writing in August just to say it. But the main lead character of Splash Star is Saki Haguga, an athletic heroine of the series and is the member of the school's softball team, which, like Nasagi Mishimi of the first and second season of Pretty Cure, Saki is a cheerful, sporty girl who loves sweets and hates studying, but has a bright and easygoing personality. Her alter ego is Cure Bloom and later Cure Bright, with powers resembling the Earth. The second main character is Mai Mishino, a transfer student in Saki's class. Mai is a quiet artist who loves drawing and has awareness of her surroundings. Her alter ego is Cure Iguet and later Cure Windy, and her powers representing the sky. Their allies were fighting with the villains and are the fairies of the Land of Fountains, which are taken over by Darkfall, and they want to know the location of the Fountain of Sun. Two fairies that help Saki and Mai transform into Pretty Cure are Flappy and Choppy, which Flappy, the flower spirit and the main mascot of Splash Star. He is Saki's partner who also has a crush on Choppy and ends up his sentences with Lappy. The second fairy, Choppy, who is the bird spirit and Mai's partner, she is not aware that Flappy has a crush on her, and she ends her sentences with Choppy. The second fairies are Moop and Foop, who are malicious at times. Moop ends the spirit of the moon from the Fountain of Sky and ends up his sentences with Moopu. Foop is the spirit of the wind from the Fountain of Sky. She ends her sentences with Poopu. The ruler of the Land of Fountains is Princess Philia. She is the spirit of the World Tree and appears every time the Pretty Cure restores a ruined fountain and provides a hint on the future events to come. Two friends of the Pretty Cure that were once villains wanting to destroy Saki and Mai are Michiru and Karu Karyu. They are denizens of Darkfall and sisters who control the Fountain of Sky. They come to Unagi Junior High as exchange students in an attempt to infiltrate Pretty Cure, but eventually end up becoming friends with them instead. Darkfall, the villains of this season, are based on elements in each general guards a fountain in the Land of Fountains. The first villain is Carrion, who looks like he is made of plants and creates wood-based Aruzarinas and controls the Fountain of Trees. The villain is Moriwamba. He can manipulate the fire element and can create fire-blasting Uzarinas using heat-related objects and controls the Fountain of Fire. Villain number 3 is Dorodoran. He is a arachnoid creature that travels underground and uses earth-based objects as his Uzarina monsters. He controls the Fountain of Earth. Miss Shitatere is the Fountain 4th Darkfall member, and she is an ice woman who uses water in many forms of her Uzarina monsters. Her name is a pun to the Japanese word misu, which means water. She controls the Fountain of Water. Next is the last villain, Kintagleski. He is a physically strongest, with his skin being metallic gold, and he controls the Fountain of Gold. Gorion, who is Akanai Draken's aside, Miss Shitatere likes to call him Go-chan, despite his superiority, and he often comments on the minions' previous work whenever they come into the report to Akanai Draken. The Uzarinas are the monsters of Darkfall, described as a physical form of the Darkfall's power. Uzarinas are monsters created from the fusion of an object and a miracle droplet, corrupted by the Dark Fall. Upon their defeat, elemental spirits are released thanks to the Pretty Cure. And finally, the villain, Akanai Draken, is the evil ruler of Darkfall, who wants to take over the World Tree. He has managed to capture 6 of the 7 fountains that nourish it, and sends out minions to try and find the location of the last fountain, the Fountain of Sun. There are 6 items in the series, first being the henshin devices known as the mixed communes. This helps Saki and Mai become blooming in Gret. They soon upgraded to the crystal communes. It helps Saki and Mai become bright and windy and retain their powers as blooming in Gret. The Splash Commune is a laptop device used by both Pretty Cures. Moop and Foop stay inside the laptop and it controls the spiral rings. Speaking of the spiral rings are the weapon-like devices that perform special attacks. As Bloom and Egret, the rings help them perform Spiral Heart Splash, and as Bright and Windy, help them perform Spiral Star Splash. The Miracle Drops are what the Pretty Cure collects in the series. The drops are spirits that help restore the fountains in the Land of Fountains with the use of the objects they are stored in called the Fairy Charfait. That helps restore the fountains too, and also revives the villains when Goran steals it. Now let's go over the locations of the Splash Star. Just like in the season 1 and 2 of Pretty Cure, they follow the Cure Black and Cure White along with Shiny Luminous. Each are called the Land of Rainbows. Splash Star is no exception, with Earth now being called the Land of Greenery. The land of the Fountain of Sun and the World Tree reside in this world, and the Pretty Cure need to protect this fountain along with the World Tree. Next location is the other world known as the Land of Fountains. It's the spirit world where Floppy and Choppy come from. It consists of the 7 holy fountains. 6 fountains are destroyed and controlled by Dark Fall, and it is the Pretty Cure's job to restore those ruined fountains while protecting a 7th called the Fountain of Sun. In the Splash Star movie is their location called the Land of Clocks. In the movie, Futari wa Pretty Cure's Tick Tick Kikiapasu in English is Pretty Cure Splash Star Tick Tick Crisis Hanging on a Thin Thread. Not much is known about in the fandom, and I have not seen the Splash Star movie, frankly. Not even one Pretty Cure movie at that time writing this script. But what I know about the Land of Clocks, it houses the Infinite Clock, which controls time and only appears in the movie. The next location is a school called Unagi Middle School. This is where Mai and Saki go to school, as the school is built on a hill with a building that is quite modern looking, and the school faces the sea and has a rooftop balcony. All main characters in the season attend Unagi. Pampakapan Bakery is the bread shop within the town and home of Higuga family. The Sky Tree, a notable landmark within the town of Yuga, are its connection and to the Land of Fountains, and finally the villain's base known as Dark Fall. It's a tower along in the water. It has a path from the entrance into the cave at the main tower. The term Dark Fall also refers to Earth of the 9 villains from the Dark Fall. Fact 1. The fictional city of Nuragi in the series is heavily based on the Kamakura and Imushina area southwest of Tokyo. Fact 2. In the Italian dub, at the end of Futari wa Pretty Cure Max Heart, it was announced that Nasaki and Hanuka would continue their adventures, but it was only a mistake by the company because at the time of the preview, they didn't receive yet the scripts of Splash Star's plot. The series aired completely faithfully to Japanese names and serums are kept as they were. Fact 3. Many concept storylines, character designs, and overall plots seem to be based on the previous 2 seasons. Saki and Mai both look and act similar to Nasagi and Hanuka. Minanui is like Ryota. Karyu, and Michiru character are heavily based on Nagisa and Hanuka's appearance, more so than Saki and Mai, and their motives are based heavily on Kiria's Akadai Draken is similar to the Evil King, Goron is similar to Babazes, Floppy and Choppy are similar to Mipple and Mipple, Princess Phila is similar to Queen of Light, and etc. Fact 4. Splash Star was the last season to be aired in a SD format and a 4:3 ratio. Fact 5. Splash Star was meant to have a dub, but it was cancelled. Well, I think that's lost media, maybe. Splash Star is the only series in Pretty Cure where the transformation devices are changed mid-season. And now we are at the ending of Splash Star analysis. I hope you enjoyed me going through the series as of this, running alongside my character information just like last time with Maxstar and Futari Raw that was posted in June. I would recommend to keep up to date with character information at Pretty Cure Edition to mostly see when I did an analysis for Yes 5 Go Go. Right now, I am got to get ready with the characters of that season and its sequel. See you around, and thank you for watching the Splash Star analysis, and it will close of my Splash Star videos, for now at least. Goodbye now.